Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Welcome back to The Next Move, the podcast where we explore faith, leadership, and personal growth to help you take your next step with purpose and confidence. Folks, I'm your host, Orvin Kimbrough. So good that you all have stopped by. Today's episode is for every dreamer, every leader, every builder, or visionary who has ever felt like they've had to push to just be seen. Let me start here. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. That's from Ephesians. Sometimes our deepest desires come wrapped in pressure, but pressure doesn't open the right doors. It came wrapped in courtesy, but you could feel the edge. If I don't get this meeting, I may have to take my business elsewhere. That's not quite a threat, but it's pretty close. And I get messages like this more often than people might think. Some are blunt, some are laced with phrases like, I don't want to have to. Like the only way to be heard is to create tension. But here's the truth that I know. Pressure might win the moment, but pressure rarely builds trust. It rarely builds long-term alignment. When I got that note from my colleague, I didn't respond right away. My colleague forwarded a communication over to me some time ago. I didn't respond right away. I stepped away from my desk. I walked the length of my hallway here in my home office, and I just stared out the back window. I could feel my shoulders tightening. I could feel just the intensity in my spirit. And I don't know if I was offended. Maybe I was, but um, I was thinking about the weight of how often urgency tries to skip the process. So I did what I always do before a hard conversation. I got really, really still, staring out that back window, and I prayed. I prayed not for a perfect response, but for the right spirit, because I know me. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. That's from Psalms. Then I picked up the phone and I called the person who was in desperate need to talk to me. The woman on the other end was visionary. She spoke with conviction and pride about building something meaningful for her city. I just listened. Then I said, I appreciate what you're building, and I'm open to see, I'm open to seeing where we align. But I need to be clear. These were my words. I need to be clear. Access doesn't come through pressure. That's not how partnership works. At least not with me. And you have to know my backstory to understand my drivers. The line went quiet after I made that comment. And then she said, almost softening, I didn't mean it like that. I just didn't know how else to be heard. Right there, right in that moment, that's where leadership lives. In the space between how we express and what we truly need. Now, let me be honest. Early in my career as a fundraising professional, I was that person oftentimes too. I was persistent, relentless, even. I remember telling someone once, well, not once, many times, I'll keep asking until you tell me no. So looking back, I realized how that could have come across. What I thought was commitment, it might have felt like pressure, but I wasn't trying to manipulate. I just didn't know how else to be heard. So I get it, which is why I want to offer something. I want to offer up something that I've learned. Too often, too often, pressure masquerades as passion. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse boldness with manipulation. You'll mistake intensity for alignment. There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end, it leads to death. That's Proverbs. So let me ask you this right now: Is your approach is your approach built on pressure or true partnership? This is important in the season that we are in as we try to grow. It's so important that we answer that question. Are you moving with alignment or are you moving with anxiety? Because the room you're trying to enter might not need more energy, it might need more patience. Let me give you the flip side. There was a gentleman who reached out to me multiple times over the course of a year. He was persistent, but not pushy. He was always respectful, always steady. We spoke here and there, but nothing really happened. Then months later, he called again. This time, I think I was in a drive-through at a Jiffy Lube or something. He called again, and this time I had space. We talked for 20 minutes, and something clicked. I never forgot what he said. He said, "So persistence really does pay off." He told me that he had been afraid to keep following up, afraid he'd be seen as a pest. But he wasn't chasing a transaction, he was seeking alignment. And because he didn't force it, the door opened at just the right time. Let us not grow weary. Let us not grow weary. Let us not grow weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That's Galatians. Sometimes it's not rejection. I've learned this. Sometimes it's not rejection, it's bandwidth. Here's what most people don't realize. It wasn't that I wasn't interested. It wasn't that I wasn't interested. It was just I didn't have the bandwidth. Oftentimes we don't have the bandwidth. We don't talk about this enough. Leaders aren't always resisting you. They may just be maxed out. It's not rejection, it's reality. There's a time for everything. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. That's from Ecclesiastes. So, real leaders, folks, don't respond to pressure, they respond to purpose. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose. It's the Lord's purpose that prevails. So hear me on this. Respect, respect opens more doors than pressure ever will. If your vision can't walk into the room without a threat, if your vision, if your vision can't walk into the room without a threat, then you're not ready for that room. Did you catch that? The best conversations happen when ego steps aside and honesty steps forward. That's when creativity flourishes. That's when trust builds. That's when God moves. So, to the passionate builder, to the nonprofit founder, to the entrepreneur with a vision, to the team member just trying to be seen, the next time you're advocating for what you believe in, pause. Just pause. Choose partnership over posturing. Choose presence over pressure. And if the door doesn't open right away, don't threaten to walk. Keep knocking. Keep knocking with humility. Keep knocking with consistency. Keep knocking with clarity. Because the best leaders don't force their way into the room. They earn the right to enter, guided by faith, not by fear. If this message helped you, share it with somebody who's pushing hard right now, someone who just needs a gentle reminder that their voice is valuable, even without the volume. And if you haven't already, subscribe to The Next Move so you'll never miss an episode. Until next time, I'm Orvin Kimbrough, reminding you that your next move may not be easy, but it just might be necessary. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.